Hey there, and welcome to DIY DSP. This is Noah Votter. Tonight I'm going to be showing this pretty epic thing, which is the LBB-3 from Dayton Audio. So this is a lithium battery kind of all-in-one solution. So you see it's got sockets for batteries and a ton of electronics. So the nice thing is it has like a good battery charger in it. I think one of the greatest things is it's got this battery level meter. So when you press that button, it lights up and shows you. So this is a set of batteries. One very convenient thing is they have this 3-in-1 pack where you can get like the batteries, a gigantic DC adapter to charge this thing. Of course, this is using the 18650s. This is just like when you were a little kid putting AA batteries into something. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to check the voltage on these, just so we know what we're getting into here. Alright, first battery. We got 3.46. Okay. Wow, the same thing to 1/10 of a millivolt. That's pretty consistent. That's nice. Okay, now that's just spooky. 3 of them, all of the same exact voltage, accurate to a millivolt. Well, that's part of the joy of today's lithium battery technology. Alright, now let's load this thing up. Alright, so if you're thinking what I'm thinking, we might actually have something on the battery meter right now. So let's take a check. Yeah, look at that. It's lit up with 2 lights. If that's empty, maybe that's a third, that's a half, that's a full, something like that. Very convenient to know. Now, that is a nice thing, but check out how much further these connectors take it. So this is the bag of connectors. LBB-LED. It's a red-green LED with switch package. So the main purpose of this is to extend the battery level signal elsewhere on your device. What if you're building this into some kind of beautiful thing? Like, let me show you what I'm building it into. Okay, this is an Axolotl-based instrument I've been working on. It's a nice cigar box, and there's all the controls and the Axolotl board inside. But let's give that a whirl. It's a 6-pin header because it's got this switch and a bunch of lights. Let's see what we get when we press the switch. We've got 2 lights. Okay, so, and we can see it's lighting up on the board as well. So this is how they'll be playing it. It's kind of using all of these things. We want this to be embedded inside, and if you really want to, you should be able to read the LEDs or something. So maybe those should be, I don't know, on the front of the box or something. And so I can see how the look kind of matches. So what I see here is that this kind of silver color of the hardware is sticking out to me in these white and gold shiny parts. Alright, so now let's see if this thing actually works. Let's hook up the rest of this thing. Okay, yeah, these are actually labeled over here. So you see that we can connect VBAT here with these really convenient terminals. I think it looks like VBAT goes on these 4-pin JST headers. Oh, that's telling you the polarity. So it's minus on the outside. This tells us the DC input, 15 to 12 volts. Okay, so what am I going to charge this with? Oh my gosh, I think I am going to try and get that step-up regulator just to heighten the chances and make this more complex. This is a CPIC voltage converter. You just dial in the voltage you want with this and put pretty much any voltage on the input, and it gives you pretty much any voltage on the output. So I'm going to attempt to use this to drive this guy over here. This is just a basic audio amplifier. Oh, it's not labeled. Oh man, how am I supposed to use it if it's not labeled? I don't even see the part number on there. Or forget it. Let's just switch to an amplifier that looks a little more simple to bodge together. And there's some suspicious scratches on the back of the board. Huh. I wonder if this thing still works. Well, let's fire it up. Okay, for my audio source, I'm going to use the much hated QFX X bass. Okay, first I'm just going to make a quick little cable. Alright, there's my cable. Now let's attach it to the battery. No, that doesn't seem to be it either. Maybe these wires aren't long enough. Let me try a longer one. Okay, this one seems to be just a little bit longer. Let's see how this fares. So first we try putting it in. Maybe I'll try something like what it came with. Okay. Oh my god, that's stuck perfectly. Okay. Alright, that's probably why it came with these, because look at that, it is locked in. You have to have exactly the right amount of apparently cutoff insulation or something. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do while I'm here is cut this thing in half. Hopefully this works out. I'm doing this because I know I'm going to need to plug some in to this section eventually. That's kind of cool. You can really feel how it sticks in. I think it's the outer diameter of insulation that has to be perfect for this to work. Alright, now let's attach this board. Okay, before I do this, I want to real quick just check the voltage on these wires, see if I've got anything interesting. That's showing 1.5 volts. Wonder what that means. Alright, so this cable just happens to be minus on the outside. I also like that it's got this soft green LED. See how it's plugged in, so. Ah, okay, did you see what happened? Let's do that again with the light off. Okay, look out. Ah. So what we saw is two LEDs came on, and we could see this right on the board. That's charging. That's awesome. And now that I look at it on the board, I can see this other one says done. Just for fun, let's see what the battery level does. So it's showing 3 in there, you know, so maybe it is charging a little bit. Let's just hook this directly up to that amplifier. Ooh, look at that spooky glow. Okay. Next thing to do is let's hook up a speaker. Do you want to hook up a really nice speaker? No, let's hook up the crappiest speaker in the world. This is one of my test speakers. Got from a TV there, throwing it out, and it's inside this trail mix jar because it needs at least some kind of compliance around it. I mean, yeah, strictly speaking for testing, but if you want anything like half decent sounding, just get a basic compliance. And so this is obviously the most basic compliance you can get. Audio in. Okay, so now let's try it with the despised, notorious X bass. Alright, so I got some audio going in there. And see, look at this. We have a nice audio indicator. Isn't that cool? Alright, so why isn't this thing working? We got VBAT. Got it connected right up here. It could be that this thing is broken. Isn't this the one that had the messed up traces on it? I don't want to spend all night trying to debug a potentially broken amplifier, so we're just going to say forget about it and let's get this other board based on the PAM 8803. Left in, right in, ground. You know, again, we could read the manual, but right now it's really about this battery pack. So let's just check out right out, left out. Let's swap over to this guy. So again, let's look at it in the dark. So you could see the nice light from there. You could see the charging light. Let's press battery level. And of course the amplifier. Alright, let's hook up the amplifier. Oh, my God. Something's hot on that board already. Is this voltage too high? Okay, I just noticed something I should have seen before. This actually says battery 2 to 4 AA on it. So this isn't meant for more than 6 volts, and we've got like 11 cruising in there. So maybe that's why it's overheating or getting so hot to my touch. So I don't know if I've destroyed it already, but let's unplug the charger there. So we won't be charging the batteries, but I think this output voltage will be a little lower. Oh, you know what? We're up to 10 volts even when we don't have anything, even when we don't have the charger plugged in. So unfortunately we charge that all the time. Oh, and there goes the QFX. All right, am I gonna have to find another amplifier here? Okay, looks like I am gonna have to get another amplifier here. So this one is more resilient. I've used this in a bunch of different circuits before. It's TriPath TA2024. I don't think that this one is gonna flame out and burn like this one, which I hope isn't burned, because I like that. I would like to run something off of 2 AA batteries sometime. I mean, let's get the speaker. It helps that these have a nice little flat surface to mesh with. As soon as I did that, I heard a sound from the crummiest speaker in the world. And look at that. We're at least picking up some hum in the air. So what we really need to do is get this into a form that we can use with an 1/8 inch stereo jack. Okay, yeah, I have this old school stereo one here, so let's set that up. One kind of nifty thing about this is you can tell the pin out when you plug it in. Let's give that a quick try. Okay, I'm not sure if that's exactly right, but I'm just going to go for it. Okay, so I'm not hearing anything right away, so let's put the charger back in and see if that gives us enough extra juice. Okay, interestingly, it's still going. Even and I've unplugged the charger. I just had to kind of plug it to get it going. So I kind of got it unstuck. I don't like to look at the volume, it's quite loud and I don't want to bother the neighbors. Let me turn the radio down. Okay, that was quite loud. So one thing I don't like about this amplifier, I like everything else about it, is it doesn't have a volume knob on it. So your source has to have a volume knob or else it just comes out. And of course, you know the QFX X-Bass boombox has a notoriously bad volume knob anyway. So what does all this mean? Hey, we went through a whole bunch of crappy amplifiers, but we've shown that this thing is, you know, a potentially feasible battery system. We've looked at some of the nice features of it, such as it's got the external LEDs for reading the battery level. Okay, so we're still at level 2 here. We can even press this external button. And we know there's a decent amount of amp hours because we're using, you know, generic 18650 cells. We know which terminals you use, VBAT to drive an amplifier, and I think VCC ground is a clone of the charging jack here. So I think maybe if I feel like it, I might try and see if I can charge this off USB. But thank you for watching. We also learned that there's this battery level thing here, right on the board. One of those is some kind of battery charger, and I think this one here displays the battery level lights. We know also it uses a whole bunch of JST headers, and it does look like you have to charge it with a unipolar DC plug, just meaning you know there's no rectifier. Rectifier would be nice, but pretty good little device. Now, if this isn't enough power, a lot of people on the forums are asking, how can I connect up 2 of these to get 24 volts? Because some of these people are using humongous amplifiers. So these guys actually went and they made a 24 volt version of this. I think it's called, what's this? This is the LBB-5. I think theirs is the LBB, this is the 3. I think the big one is the 5 or the 6, something like that. So yeah, Dayton Audio, these guys are wicked for making all kinds of amplifier, radio, stereo, speaker, cabinet. I'm in there for musical instrument stuff. But yeah, Dayton Audio just slams. Okay. Alright, now just for some extra innings, I'm going to attempt to attach this CPIC regulator and see if I can charge this using a 5 volt USB connection instead of a barrel jack DC. It's just kind of a generic board for a CPIC voltage regulator. You can see the part number on there. I can't quite see it from where I'm sitting right now. But basically, it's just got an in minus and an in plus and an out minus and an out plus, and then this voltage. And whatever voltage you want comes out over there based on that knob for almost any voltage that goes in. Now it has limits with... Okay, so I've got this little Spark Fun USB breakout.
Minutes ago with Seth Moulton, but
got the power brick here, this old one. So going to USB. Then this USB is going to go over here. We've got the VCC and ground. Okay, so when I power up the USB brick and I look at the output of this thingy, we get 3.6 volts. Let's see if the screwdriver is small enough to make an adjustment. So that's down, yep, to the left or counterclockwise, down to 2.87. Let's go the other direction. Look at that, that's a beautiful thing. Just dial in the voltage you want. 4 point whatever. So we're hoping, this thing is rated for around 12 volts. So let's see if this CPIC converter is able to push that 5 volt input up to the threshold needed to start that battery charger. The stakes are high because if it can, and it's looking good here at about 9.5 volts, this would mean you could put this together to make a USB charged amplified speaker system with just like this handful of components. Just wiring them together, and as you can see, without even reading the instruction manual. So we're up to 11. Oh, look at that. The charging light has just come on. So if I dial it down, where does that light go off? Somewhere around 11 volts. So it asks for 12 on the label, and around 11.3 is where it kicks in. Let's try and drive this at a comfortable 13. All right. So this is pretty awesome. This is a pretty cool result. So let me just go over what we have here from start to beginning. We have, starting with an AC source, we're driving an old Apple power brick, which is going to USB, which goes to this CPIC voltage converter board, which drives the 5 volts up to 12 volts, which drives this very lovely LBB-3 lithium battery charger with 3 cells, and that's driving this amplifier here.
The story would get more.
And that's going to the radio. And don't forget the best part of all, we have battery level lights. So subscribe to this channel if you want to see some more epic hacks like this. You know, in this evening, about 45 minutes or so, or less, we've hacked together a complete battery lithium powered amplifier. You don't have to spend $700 and buy the new teenage engineering amplifier if you don't want to. Of course, you will get a better speaker than this. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like this channel, and because I don't have a heck of a lot of subscribers right now, I might get lost in your feed, so it's a good time to be a pioneer and click the notifications button. I don't upload videos all that often, maybe once a week, so I promise not to clog your feed with garbage, and instead I promise to fill it with excellent music. And one more thing, let's see if we could fit this whole thing inside a nice cigar box. Box. Okay, that looks like a pretty reasonable layout. If I could attach that there, maybe this there. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, yep. That just about fits now. We can get screws in there. Only thing is I have to replace those with right angle connectors so that I can get into the box without poking into the lid. Okay, in this case I opted to simply bend them with pliers. Okay, actually I think a better way to get this is going to be with this saw. It's quieter. Actually have more control. Be able to break it off. Look at that. And this part. This is like an extra layer of cedar that they put inside a lot of these. Yes, we could totally mount that. Let's try and close the lid. Okay, right now it's not closing because some of the other wires, but that part will definitely close. Let's cut out some space for these adapters real quick. There we go. I think we'll be able to close it with both of these in there now. Yes, the only thing is this one other speaker cable coming out of the back. Okay, it's getting late, so I think for tonight I'm just going to make a small channel in here for this wire and plug in one other nice speaker instead of just this cruddy one. Okay, just for the sake of not keeping my poor neighbor up any later, I'm just going to put that there. And now, just as my good friend Justin Emerson from Burn Kit 2600 always says, does it still work when you put the lid on it? So, let's turn up the radio. Oh my god, it doesn't work. Oh no, we still have to plug this in. Ready? Of course, it's not glued in place yet. Alright, this has been a success. Remember, this LBB-3 is something else. Really is. All kinds of power available. Alright, thanks. Like and subscribe. Please click notify. Check out all my other hacking and music instrument videos.